Okay, oh, does that look good? Who fucking cares? Hello! It's a new year! Welcome to 2026. I'm dating this video horribly, but it's whatever, who cares? So we're gonna start this new year off with a new perspective on things and some new stuff. We're gonna start with a hot take. AI makes your art more valuable. And for those of you in the back, hey, dickhead, pay attention. I do not like AI. You will not convince me otherwise. It is impossible. I will get into specifics in this video. If you clicked on this video because you're also a bald white guy like me and you thought I would agree with you, sorry to burst your bubble, but this is not going to be the video. This is not going to be the channel where that kind of thought process is welcome. Okay, so let's start off with the basics. Like, what even is AI? What am I talking about when I use the phrase AI? Because as someone who has grown up playing the video games, los videos juegos, growing up I always thought of AI as just the artificial intelligence programmed into the enemies of the game. So you'd be like, oh, this AI is so cheap when you're talking about, I don't fucking know, like Mario Kart battles or something like that. But now, because of marketing and wealth disparagement and just blindsided investors, the term AI has been ruined, basically. So, like, people use the phrase AI for a lot of different things, and it's really not their fault for misusing the term because, like I said, it's a marketing gimmick. So in this video, we're talking about AI, right? But we're really talking about large language models and the technology that goes into that. It might seem pedantic, it might seem a little bit actually, but there is a distinction here. Because when you hear the phrase AI, when you hear artificial intelligence, what do you think of? You think of a sentient robot, right? But none of the stuff that we call AI nowadays is intelligent. It's just artificial. As far as I'm aware, and as far as I care to understand, it's basically just a more advanced algorithm, kind of like a sorting, mathematical kind of algorithm thing. Like, who cares? You didn't come here to watch me tell you what AI is. We're here to tell you why it makes art more valuable. So the entire point of AI, at least as far as I can tell, is that some fucking suit somewhere just wants to create value from nothing. Let's not get lost in the weeds here. There was never any sort of sense of it's gonna democratize art and it's going to make the art process more efficient. Like, fuck you. No, it never was. It was never about that. It was only because you wanted to make money. That's it. I say you in this case. It's just business people, CEOs and the like. People who just don't understand art or the artistic process or the inherent non-monetary value of art. So you have a magic box that you're trying to get valuable things out of, right? But you spent nothing to get the thing that you're trying to sell. Realistically, like billions of dollars, trillions of dollars have been spent on this thing. Money is an abstract concept, right? Like, it's just that they didn't have to pay a specific human being to make a thing. They instead just went to the robot and was like, robot, make me a big anime woman with big boobs smiling at me, and she has big boobs and she wants to be with me. Sorry, what just happened? The person who typed in the prompt didn't make anything. They didn't spend anything. They didn't spend money. They didn't spend time. They didn't spend effort. They didn't spend their life making this thing. They just had a machine do it for them. So what does that mean? It means that whatever the fuck this magic machine, this magic box will spit out, it's just inherently valueless. No value was put in. That means no value will come out. And I'm using this word, value. I'm saying this word a lot. I want to be clear here. The word value can mean either monetary value, as in the price tag, what people will spend money on, but then there's also the intangible, the human, the fucking spiritual, whatever. There's a value beyond just how much someone is willing to pay for it. It's like how you can't buy friendship, right? Friendship and community are super valuable to the human experience because our brains need it to survive. Insert image of Maslow's hierarchy of needs right here. Just look at that. Wow, that's a pyramid. That's crazy. Okay, so rambling aside, what the fuck does any of this have to do with making your art, my art, anyone's art more valuable? What do I even mean by that? I mean that your art now regardless of whether or not it is good, bad, ugly, beautiful, provocative, anything, regardless of what it is, what it looks like, how you think of it, it still is inherently more valuable than whatever the fuck any AI image or any AI video, any of that. Your stuff is more valuable than any of this. And people are pumping trillions of dollars into this industry. What do you think that means? What are the implications of this? If like 70 rich assholes are willing to spend trillions upon trillions of dollars trying to make something that is inherently valueless, what the fuck does that mean for your art? Your art, whether you think it is good or bad or whatever, still has your human touch to it. It still has your experiences. Every single thing that you do, every single ounce of effort you put into your art, whether that be knitting, cooking, video editing, it could be traditional art, it could be digital art, it could be claymation, it could be fucking anything. Everything that you make is influenced by your life experiences and the things that you learn and the people you know and the trauma you went through. There is not a computer on planet Earth. If you took every computer that was ever created on all of Earth and you put them all together to basically form a singularity, there's no fucking way that that machine could compare to the raw computational power of the fucking piece of pink flesh that is in your skull right now. The amount of data that you hold in your head is unfathomable. We have spent eons trying to pick apart our brains, and we are no closer to solving our own heads, and we live with them every day, dude. So the things that you make, the things that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, there is nothing else like it on the planet. It is truly one of a kind. Even if you take inspiration, even if you think it's derivative, even if you take concepts from here, or you take like pieces of art here and you staple it onto there, you make, like, that's just called collages at that point. There's some gorgeous collages out there, and there's just people cutting out pieces of paper and gluing them down on a poster board. But it's still art. It's still more valuable to the human experience than anything any AI could ever come up with. I say come up with, I'm humanizing it. It's not human. It can't do that. It can't come up with things. It's not intelligent. And that's something we have to remember going into these next few years. Because let me tell you, this AI shit ain't going away anytime soon. The bubble's gonna burst. I know it will. It has to burst. It can't be sustained like this. But people are gonna keep putting money into it. Listen, as long as a certain orange motherfucker is still alive, this shit ain't going anywhere, all right? So the next few years are scary, especially if you're a creative person, especially if you're going into a creative industry. You're trying to do video editing, you're trying to do art, you're trying to do animation. Get fucked, all of you, all of us. We're all getting fucked right now. I think it's important for a lot of us creatives to remember that even if our pieces of art aren't the most technically impressive, if they're not the prettiest art, if it's not the most complicated, if it's not the most whatever, none of that matters because we made it. Therefore, it has inherent value. This is a thought process that I have been mired in for a long, long time. I have stressed so much about whether or not the stuff that I make can even be considered art. This stuff that I'm doing here, it's not complicated, it's not difficult. You can do it if you want to, and I recommend you do, but we'll get into that. And I thought that art was the product of years and years of mastery, of learning a craft, of finally making a thing that can be called art. But now, because anyone can just go on a website and type a sentence into a text box, and a computer somewhere will generate an image that is passable, art in general has very little value anymore. Like, AI images just aren't inherently valueless on their own. They also actively devalue art as a concept. But here's the important part. The thing that makes art so important for the human experience is because of the connections you can forge between the artists and the people who absorb that art, who view it, who interact with it. Art isn't there to look pretty on a wall somewhere. Art is there to remind you that humans are pretty cool sometimes, and sometimes pretty bad. I don't know, there's different kinds of art, right? Imposter syndrome is a slow and insidious killer. It is something that saps away all enjoyment you have ever had when it comes to creating things. The stress and anxiety that you put on yourself is greater than what any other person could possibly put on you. I can't speak for everybody, and everybody has their own experience with imposter syndrome. Everybody's gonna have a different story. What I can tell you is that my story hopefully gets better from here. In the past, I just did not think that anything I was doing was worth it. I didn't think that any of it was good enough. I didn't think that anyone would like it. I didn't think anyone would get anything out of it. How could I spend so much of my life, so much time, this finite time that I have on this earth, how could I spend it making things that aren't even all that good? If it's not good, then why even fucking bother? Like, did I even learn anything? I don't know. And after, several years of really dark, really depressing, really overthinking rabbit holes, I finally can say that I think I'm an artist. And it's not because I sit here in front of a camera and talk to you about nothing. It's not because I set up lights. It's not because I do color grading in like a fucking video editing software. It's not because of any of that. It's because I'm actually making something. I'm actually putting a piece of myself into this video, into this channel, and I'm sharing it with you. That's art. And there are a lot of things that I do here on this channel that try to capture a specific feeling. Like the camera that I'm using, it's from 2010. It looks like shit, but that's part of the vibe. I still use this microphone and it still sounds pretty good because, like, let's be honest, if this video is just me sitting here talking about nothing, I wouldn't want to force you to listen to the camera audio. You know what? Here. Okay, we switched over to the camera audio. Does it sound bad? It probably sounds bad. I didn't want to sit here and force you to listen to this audio for however long this video is. Okay, anyway. Back to the good microphone now. Thank you. I just want to remind you specifically, watching this video, I need you to shut the fuck up and I need you to make something. I don't care what it is. I don't care who it's for. You don't have to share it with anybody. You could draw, you could knit, you could paint, you could fucking cook, you could build a Lego set. I don't care. Who cares? Just make something. You could sit and stare at a fucking trash can and just think about the trash can. That is still a form of art. You're still taking your experiences of the world. You're still taking your outside, like, perceptions of the world and you're channeling them through your head and you're turning those experiences into thoughts. That itself is a form of art. Anything that goes through a human fucking brain is art. So I've already said what I want you to do with this information. What am I gonna do with this information? For the past couple of years, I would get way too deep in my own head and I would, think myself in circles and just be exhausted by the end of it, thinking about like, well, now that I have influence on YouTube, I now have a form of power. With that form of power, I need to be careful with it. So I need to make sure that I'm only talking about things that I truly care about. I need to never take sponsorships. I need to never take care of myself. I need to never, think about what I want to make in a video. I need to think about what other people would get out of the video. I couldn't just make things that were funny or things that I wanted to make. I had to make things that someone watching would be like, oh, that was kind of a cool video. Or, oh, I learned something here. I needed to make things that I thought were worth it. And nothing ever was worth it. I would always find some way to devalue my own work. I would always find some reason why this video, it's not that good actually. I should just scrap the whole thing. And if there's one thing my brain is good at, it is shifting goalposts. But ever since I came to this realization of like, hey, I'm an artist, what I'm doing is valuable, even if it's just kind of a shit post, I don't know, I feel more excited about making things. I'm actually like happy sitting here in front of a camera talking about nothing, right? Before I had this revelation, I'd just be kind of scared. It's like, what? I'm just talking about nothing. Like, I'm just rambling into a camera. What the fuck? What purpose does this video serve? But it does serve a purpose. It serves to remind both you and me that just being human is important. So yeah, I got some shit cooking up in here. I got some stuff written down also that I'm excited to make. I'm excited to finally share with y'all. There's a lot of games I want to talk about. There's a lot of stuff about Linux I want to talk about. Don't worry, we're not abandoning Linux on this channel. I have a lot I want to talk about. And I'm not like, you know, kumbaya, super happy, like, oh, I'm never gonna have a bad thought ever in my life again. Like, I'm expecting that I will fall into some depressive episodes again. That's just kind of how people are. I think I'm doing better at not kneecapping my own creative energy. I think I'm doing better at actually encouraging myself to make things. Hopefully, I can keep this energy up long enough to actually get some of the videos out that I've been wanting to make. Because I made some I made some wild videos last year, huh? This video was initially just going to be me like doing a kind of a retrospective on my channel and my content and how it's kind of evolved over the past year. And I would talk about like the story of like when I made those videos and where my head was at the time. And I think, I don't know, like I might still do that, but I feel like I've talked about this enough, and that whole conversation would eventually just lead into what we already talked about, so it's like, you know, maybe I'll do a stream about it. If you want to see that, and you want to see, you know, me talk about all of my old videos, let me know. I'll probably do a stream over on the garbage pile. I want to do more stuff over there. I've been saying that I wanted to do that for so fucking long now. But you know, being human, just sitting and playing video games and enjoying them and talking about them, that's important. And I feel like a lot of that conversation is gonna happen over on the garbage pile, so cool, right? What we're gonna do here is we're gonna look through my vinyl collection and we're gonna recommend a few, we're gonna do the album recommendations, yay! Okay, what do we got, that's a good one. This is the Claypool Lennon Delirium by Les Claypool and Sean Lennon. Sean Lennon is, of course, John Lennon's son. John Lennon and Yoko Ono, I'm pretty sure. This is a very interesting album. It's like a mixture of Primus and the Beatles. And it's just kind of a voice of its own. It's kind of a disservice for me to compare this album to the Beatles or Primus, really. It's doing its own thing. These two are in their own lane. They're just fucking vibing, making shit. And it's definitely worth a listen. And I highly, highly recommend this album. So the next one is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. This is No Pressure by Logic. I know that Logic is seen as kind of a cheesy motherfucker. I know that he's not like all that well respected in certain scenes, certain communities in rap and stuff like that. But I really do vibe with this album's message, and I feel like sometimes you just need to be cheesy, you know? I feel like in order to convey certain emotions, in order to, you know, convey certain feelings, you just kind of have to be cheesy, you know? Because some emotions are cheesy. I don't know. There's a lot about this album that I really vibe with. I really enjoyed the message. It actually did speak to me in a lot of ways. So I feel like that's like the point of it. It's the point of art. We're talking about art, right? As long as it's provocative, like, hey, it's doing its job. Fun fact, this was actually one of the first albums that I, like vinyls, that I ever bought. So, you know, good addition to the collection. And, oh, here we go. Okay, and this is Another Light by Red Vox. This is another very important album to me for a wide variety of reasons. The main one is that this album got me through a really bad breakup, man. A lot of the songs on here talk about, like, you know, loss and grief and a lot of really negative emotions. There's a pairing of songs of I'm so happy and I'm so sad. It's like trying to gaslight yourself into being happy for someone, but then realizing that you're really not that happy at all, but then feeling sad because there was no point to you feeling sad, like you don't deserve to feel sad, and that cyclical thing of you getting in your own head, and it's like, do I even deserve to be fucking sad right now? Like, yeah, like it really fucking hit hard for me at that moment. And side D also had, and this vinyl specifically, it has their single Stranded on there. Oh my god, I fucking love Stranded. This is just a good vinyl, it's a good album. I'm gonna put links to all the albums that I recommend in the description, like always. But yeah, that was this video. You know, we talk about art, we talk about vinyl, we talk about imposter syndrome. I think it's fun, I think it's happy, yay! And you will see me very soon. So, thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone, the executive lads, the people who are members on this channel. Thank you to you for sitting here watching this video. I've probably been like sinking lower into my chair while I'm doing this. Whatever, I don't care. The fact that you're here watching this video genuinely means the world to me. The fact that I'm able to sit here and talk about nothing into a camera and have people listen to it, I need to remind myself how fucking insane that concept is. I need to remind myself about how truly blessed I am to be sitting in the chair that I'm sitting right now. Metaphorically speaking. I mean, this chair is comfortable, but like, I'm talking metaphors here. So thank you again. I really do mean it. And I promise I'm gonna actually start making shit again. I hope you had a good holidays. Hope you had a good new year. And I hope, for fuck's sake, I hope you make something. I don't care what it is, just fucking make something. Make dinner for yourself. Put some fucking chicken on rice and make that shit. Throw some spices in there. I don't care. You still made something. It's art. It's art. All right, have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna go do something else.